Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about fertilizer. I want to talk about N.P.K in particular. I want to talk about what it stands for and why is it important. N.P.K is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. There are three numbers on your fertilizer, and these three numbers represent the value of the three macronutrients used by plants. That's the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Those are your three macronutrients. Now, when you look at your fertilizer, there's going to be three numbers. The first number is always going to be your nitrogen. The second number is always going to be your phosphorus. And the third number is always going to be your potassium. So the higher the number, the more concentrated the nutrient. For example, this one is 31, 11, 11, which means there's 3 times more nitrogen in here than the phosphorus or the potassium. These values appear on any fertilizer that you purchase, whether it's organic or chemical. Now, I particularly don't usually buy fertilizers. This one was given to me. I've had this one for about 2 years, and I just bought this one for the blueberry plant that I just got. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have any of these. However, why is the numbers so important? What are the variables in the numbers? Okay, so this one I just went over, 31, 11, 11. This one is all-purpose and has 24, 8, 16. So that's a nitrogen, 24, phosphorus is 8, potassium is 16. All right, now what do these numbers mean? Well, the nitrogen is largely responsible for leaf growth. So leafy vegetables benefit greatly from extra boosts of nitrogen throughout their growing season. Phosphorus is responsible for root growth and flower and fruit development. So once a plant gets established and sets fruit, you can scale back on the nitrogen but increase the phosphorus throughout the growing season. So that's where this one comes in, because it's 9, 58, 8. So this one, just the way it says, is ideal for blooming and rooting. Okay. And potassium is a nutrient that helps the overall functions of the plant so that they perform correctly. So this one is higher in potassium. It's got a 16 potassium. That just helps the plant to be able to uptake the nutrients and to intake the sun. So it helps the overall function of the plant, basically. Now, like I said, I normally don't buy fertilizers. I will usually use like an organic fertilizer. So on my next video, I will be able to show you what I use in order to boost the phosphorus and the potassium. There are many sources of nitrogen that we can find, but we can't always find sources of phosphorus and potassium. And a lot of people turn to like blood meal and bone meal. But I have always been an avid gardener that doesn't like to purchase a lot of things. I like to keep everything strictly organic if I can. And it's also cheaper that way. I don't have to spend any money. So that's the goals of my gardening, are to achieve the most amount of vegetables I can in the smallest amount of space, as well as not have to spend any money. I want to do it spending the least amount of money as I possibly can. So knowing the values of the N.P.K help you decide what your plant needs based on the type of the plant that you're growing. For example, the cucumber plant. Once that plant starts setting cucumbers, you don't need to keep feeding it a lot of nitrogen, because you don't want a lot of leaves and vines growing all over everywhere. You want to concentrate on the fruit that it's setting. So that's when you want to give it that boost of phosphorus. You should try to test your soil to find out what your soil needs are. If you can't find it, or if you can't test it, then that's fine, but Your soil could be deficient in some areas and you don't know, you don't know about it. However, I use compost, so I am confident that my soil is rich in organic matter, so I don't worry about testing my soil. Soil that's rich in organic matter will always do better, and ultimately it will need less fertilizer. So if you can't come across if you can't come across compost, then no worries. You can always buy, bags of composted manure, and you can amend your soil that way. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. Until next time, the more you know, the more you grow. Thanks for watching.